and welcome everybody out there in YouTube and D&D land. I hope you're all having a fantastic day today. Before we jump in the action, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. All of those things help us out tremendously. If you're interested in supporting our community a little bit further, consider becoming a member here on our YouTube channel. Memberships start at just $2 a month, and you gain access to some really cool emotes. If you're interested in joining any of our games, we need to fill up some slots in the Friday early game. We need 2 more players, and then we can start playing that game. I believe that's going to be everything from me. Go ahead, tell us what happened last time, Fordrum.
Well, after surviving 4 or 5 read rolls, thanks, Goose, suck it. No, kidding, love you, bro. Capriccio Hill are wounded from the fight. I stole a horse and wagon because there was one sitting in town, and we decided to give chase to the twos. Well, specifically, we didn't know where they were, so the essence of the twos were being chased. Followed them for quite a while, made our way into a cave that they seem to have turned into. We snuck in as quietly as we don't do, and the few that could did better at it. We noticed that the brother of the twos, he too, was all coursed with weird blue energy. We kind of got in a little bit of a scrap with him, but it didn't last too long. He was juiced up beyond belief. Eventually, he kind of exploded in sort of a mess of acidy, horrible, mutated nastiness. And then quickly thereafter, she too, Dimension Door or got away. We made our way outside. We kind of healed up a little bit. Argon put himself in a bubble of safety, and then we proceeded to chase her down. I think we were able to scry her or something, but we found her. We chased her for quite a while. Capriccio opened up a portal, I think, and we stepped through and got to her quickly. Found her crying at the loss of her brother. Instead of initially attacking her, Fordrum sort of slid in front of everybody and chose the path of least resistance at this point, which was conversation. And despite the fact that she was very lost, we recognized that she had been persuaded with lots and lots and lots of propaganda, and after telling her nothing but truths, we managed to convince her that she was part of an organization led by Trent that was really the bigger problem. In doing so, in offering to heal her and offering to help her, she reversed some of the things that she was carrying around. She spared the life of Surazar's father and potentially a few other people who she held patches to. We confirmed it, asking the father if he was fine. He said, yep. She in turn gave us information and 6 more vials of the serum. She told us that Trent has a tome that he carries with him. It has an eye that watches everything around it. And after that, she says she's going to go bury her brother. And it is there that we sort of begin sort of questioning what to do next. Capriccio is pulled aside by the Wild Mother, person who refers to herself as nobody. And she hands him a book. And then we all ponder what the book is, sort of figure it out, and slap ourselves in the forehead, realizing, oh, we have somebody who really wants it, and yet maybe we want it too. And that is where we've left off.
All right. So, everybody, you all are standing there on top of your flying ship. You guys use the flying ship to get over here, by the way.
Oh, right.
On top of the flying ship, soaking wet from the pouring rain of this area, and thankfully it's only a little chilly this far north this time of year. Most of you are perfectly fine, but those of you who aren't, acclimated. Oh, wait, I think everybody in this... Yeah, all of you would be acclimated. Yeah, you're fine. So, what are we doing, everybody? The choice is yours.
So,
What's the book do? It helps your wisdom or your intelligence?
wisdom. It grants a +2 wisdom.
Well, I should read it.
You'll have better luck of getting that out of Fricia's hand as Argon does getting his toe back.
Fair. Okay. Or Capriccio should read it. I don't see any reason for us to pass it on to anyone else.
You guys are excluding the other druid in the party?
Oh, Braska?
The other druid already got one of
Technically-
these books.
True.
Technically,
True.
we have 4 people that use wisdom as a stat. But yeah. So, Argon, do you think there's something we need to research about in regards to that book of his? Like, he's got 2 powerful artifact type magic items. There's got to be something somewhere about these 2 things. Not to mention, we need to figure out another way of breaking the curse.
Yes, and I thought our next plan was to try and do something about finding a way to break the curse.
Yeah, we have that bloodstained map. I'm not very well traveled, but if you can get us in the general area, I can try to track it down.
Is there any indication on the map about like where area-wise it is?
Investigation, please, sir.
Did we spent a night anywhere yet?
No, this is literally like the minute you guys got back on the ship. If you want to sleep,
let's do it in the morning.
yeah, that's fair.
I
But
could
I'm
take
not at
a
disadvantage.
I could take a cursory look at the map, I guess. Yeah, we'll go ahead and burn session. $31?
Alrighty.
Oh, it worked.
I will. So, as you are looking at it, let me bring you over here. As you were looking at it, you take careful note of everything that is written on it. You see that there is a little glossary down at the bottom, but it seems to be in means of describing the purpose of said location. By the looks of the map, it would have to be some type of tower in a more frigid environment. The common that is utilizing seems as if it had a large amount of influence from Giant, culturally speaking. So somewhere cold that has a influence through Giants. And that's all your character figured out.
Do you know place? You're a half giant, right?
Goliath. It's not really the same thing as a half giant, but close enough.
Where does, like, are there known towers of your kinsmen that are located
Goliath
in...
towers?
Uh,
Goliaths aren't really greatly known for their architecture anymore. Not for a long time.
Was there a tower in that school we went to a long time ago?
We never actually saw the outside of it.
Yeah, fair.
I know where the ruins of it are supposed to be.
Which school is this?
Westus Institute of
Gotcha.
Magecraft and Tomology.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I know the whole name of it.
The Redis Institute?
Is it Redis?
It's spell it for me.
It's spelled Wrettis.
Redis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
well, wherever this is, it's going to be in a very, very cold climate region,
So,
based off the map that we have. Its lineage is closer to giant, the way the common is.
Let's see.
And it's going to be a tower of some sort.
The ruins of the Tower of the Institute are in the Stormcrest mountain range south of Singorn.
Hmm.
and Argon, you'd be aware that there is a large population of Goliaths across that mountain range.
And there's a large population of giants across there. Or of Goliaths.
But that's not really frigid.
It's a mountain range.
Yeah,
Anything in the upper mountain ranges are going to be frigid.
but it's not upper. If it's near Singorn, it's lower.
I meant the upper part of a mountain range, like towards the top of the mountain, is what I meant.
Yeah, okay.
It's a good 70 miles, 80 miles from Singorn. Singorn's the closest thing to it.
It's the closest major
Got it.
city to it.
Aside from that, there's trees.
I just wrote down what Joey said, so...
Because I just know that, when we talk about cold, Kavarad is one of the colder places that I'm familiar with.
How old does the map look to be?
Locket Alps.
History check on that one.
I will assist.
You are proficient in history?
Yeah.
Oh, me? God, no.
Oh. Well, then you wouldn't even have a fighting chance for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
So
proficient.
if someone is proficient in it, that'd
Give
be
it to the
bad.
dwarf. He knows old shit.
I'll help Fordrum. I'm proficient.
He's the second oldest in the party.
Well, then you do it, because I'm not smart.
He's
I
really
want to wait
fun.
until tomorrow because I'm exhausted. I tried that at the beginning and
Go to
Cynthia
sleep.
went off on her own.
Oh, just kidding. I'm going to history check it, and I'm going to guidance myself.
I will still help you.
Thank you.
Roll with advantage.
Ooh, get that
Yeah.
D4 in there.
There.
25. This map seems to have been made back pre-Calamity, if you had to make an estimate. The specific symbols they utilized in order to express north, south, east, and west are very outdated for modern era and for modern understanding as well. The parchment itself is also made out of a very strong material that, aside from that era, anything before that would be destroyed all the way up until about 1,000 or so years ago. So
Yeah.
It's old.
Yeah, this is crazy old. See all these hairs that looking like things in the paper? They don't make paper like this anymore.
And y'all found this in an ancient city. So, do you know of any other areas that have a lot of ancient facilities?
Because it seems like everywhere.
Iselcross, that certainly covers Frigid, and we know there were giants there at this.
Are there towers?
There's a fallen flying city, 2 of them actually.
Could be up there.
Could be. There's also a very cold area by the Stormcrest Mountains.
The Frostweald.
Yeah.
And just for clarity, in case anybody was wondering, its name is Frost Wields.
So, probably cold.
Yes.
It's actually like Greenland, Iceland. It's actually super like medium.
It's the opposite. It's the
So-
tropical part.
The only reason why I'm thinking maybe Iselcross is because y'all found it somewhere where it's really old.
Yes, but
And
the Restus
Calamity?
Institute is just as old.
Oh, is it?
Yes.
I
It
don't know
predates
about the Institute.
It predates the Calamity as well.
Okay. So it's a possibility there too.
Yes.
So both places have a good fighting chance of being where.
I would much rather go to Frost or to the Stormcrest Mountains than Iselcross at this point.
What's wrong with Iselcross?
Everything. Besides the fact that A, it's controlled by the Empire, you also cannot teleport in there because magic is so wild there that you have no choice but to come in by boat. And there's only one true port city, and yeah, we kind of assassinated the leader of that the last time we were there. So
Yeah,
there's
we didn't
probably
really leave
like
We didn't leave it very hospitable.
there's probably like engraved wanted signs like posted up at the entrance.
To be fair, though, there's a slave trader there that I'd like to take a hammer to. So,
Okay.
fairly warned, if we do end up there, I'm gonna pick a couple fights.
So
I just imagine you walking down the street. Hey, how you doing?
Yep. Just kneecap that motherfucker.
20 years after war, you see him on the side of the street walking.
Yep.
I know you. Quack.
So far, this is sort of like I'm into it.
Breska's like, I think that sounds like a perfect place to go.
I don't know much about Iselcross, but we're going up by, you said Singorn, Joey?
That's where the other location is. It's somewhat close to Singorn. It's the closest major city.
And you do have the confirmation of Redis Tower's existence out there, which is also from the Age of Arcanum.
Okay.
Well, I think we put this, as well as ourselves, to bed for tonight. And then we'll reinvigorate ourselves by tomorrow and see. Unless anybody has anything they'd like to add, I would like to inform Bernie that we have dealt with the twos.
That's fine. I don't have a problem with it.
Okay.
Okay.
I know that they're into this sort of thing, and I don't want them to run into her and initially.
And try and kill her off the bat just because of who she was.
Yep.
I'm guessing he's one of the companions of Miriam.
Yes. One of the many, many siblings they all seem to have.
Alrighty.
Yeah, their dad's kind of a slut.
Yeah, I think there's like 40 some odd children. They're all different races. There's more children than there are races in the handbooks. Somehow.
twins. You know?
Yeah, twin. That's true.
How far of a travel would it be via airship to get to Singor, do you think?
From where we're at,
Yeah.
Better part of a week.
Hmm.
If storms were on your side.
yeah. To be fair, we are not all that close to it.
To
To be fair,
I'll
we're
bring you
almost
guys
as
to
far
the
as
global map.
possible from it.
So, global map.
Oh yeah, we are really far away.
Yeah,
from
you are here. You'd have to go not through the Empire, around to get there.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, so we'd have to go up north and then back down through Whitestone.
So, probably a
And
week and a
across
half
Tal'Dorei.
ish. Yeah.
Here's my sending. It's under 25.
Yep. DM it to him.
Okay.
Looking through the travel sand.
So it's sounding like Isocross would be easier.
You don't have access to the travel sand. We can get to Singorn.
To be honest, we can get fucking anywhere we really want to.
Well, yeah. I should say I can teleport us to Singorn.
Yeah, because y'all have the object from Singorn.
We have the snow globe.
Yep.
Yes. But regardless, I'm going to bed.
All right.
Okay.
Night night has been called. Night night, night night, night night, night night.
I would recommend to the captain to move the ship away from the Empire at least.
Already
We
on
are
it.
Really...
Already. Whew. That music can end. Now. Forest by day. Oh wait, no. Wouldn't be forest, would it? No, it wouldn't. No, it would not. I really wish the music in Roll20 had a feature that I could search what I already have.
Mm,
Because I have to scroll through. It's a lot. Nope. Ah, there it is. So, morning rolls around, and all of you notice that when you exhale, you can see your breath. Gotten much colder wherever you are right now. You get on top of the deck, you look out, and behind you would be the graying wildlands, and before you is open ocean. Seems that he's moved you closer to Isocross and closer towards Singorn. Just safety.
somewhere along the lines of us flying on this ship, I completely forgot that we have a flying ship that can take us to Isocross, and we don't have to worry about docking at a town.
But isn't there an issue with flying over Islecross with the crazy magic again?
I don't know.
Oh,
It's a good question. Does the captain know? Has he ever heard of anyone trying to bring a
Why don't you ask him?
captain?
Oi.
Out of curiosity, do you know of any adverse interactions with airships and Isocross?
Yeah, I heard of one story about it. Shrimple, he was a little halfling folk, ran his own ship and ended up, finding his way into having a flying ship. And when he brought it over to Isocross, a storm swallowed it, and he and the ship disappeared.
Huh.
So there's another ship in Isocross.
That's one way to look at it.
With all due respect, unless you could fly the fucking ship yourself, I ain't doing it.
Oh, I don't blame you.
Well, that really technically answers my question. So that's all I really needed to know.
Alright.
If there's any chance that it's a danger to the ship, then there's no point in doing it. So, besides the fact that even if we did take it, I would never hear the end of it from Surazar, even for risking it. Not to mention if something happened.
Yeah, especially if we don't know, even if the magic of the ship isn't being used actively, if it would still have an adverse reaction.
Yes. So, all right. So I still think Isocross is off the menu.
I mean,
Well,
I could always fly until we get closer, and then we sail in, but you'd still have to go through one of the ports. Or I
Yeah,
could just
which-
dump you off at one of the other sections, and you guys will have to find your own way. I assume you can find your own way onto a shoreline.
Yeah, we tried that once before.
Didn't work.
Not very well.
Fair.
We eventually got there, but there was a dragon turtle and
Oh. Oh.
Why did you do all the fun shit before I joined?
Fun
so we used to
shit.
run around with a noble. He just had all sorts of weird things he wanted to do.
Well, that and also, I don't know that I would officially call it fun.
I would.
Well, it was all right.
So I think searching the
thing going.
Frostweld Mountains is our best bet, rather than risking Isocross.
At least first.
Yes. Yes, if we find nothing in Frostweld, then we can...
Is there more than one port in Isocross?
Not that I am aware of.
Nope.
Last time we were told there was only Balin Post.
Oh, history check, Argon.
Okay?
I will assist.
You actually could assist with this.
29.
I'm pretty sure I've heard of other places.
29. So do you guys remember conversations you had with that captain on the ship who sailed you to Balin Post?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah? You remember those conversations?
Yeah. I think, didn't she say that there was another place on the other side of the island?
Do you know how far back in my notes Balin Post is?
Oh, it's not about Balin Post. Here, I'll bring you guys over to the Isocross map real quick.
It's the one starts with.
It's the
Serenia?
one that's. Yeah. It was
See,
either
I'm not
Serenian
saying
or
that sober.
Foreign that had the encampment of the faith followers.
That
in
is
another
not
way.
that is not a port. That is a development community. However, are you reading through those notes right now?
I'm trying to see if I can find anything.
I'm waiting on Google to load mine. Let's see. Crash site was the Archmage area. Alawak Sanctuary was where Brightheart the Yeti is. Mothalos' area shifts every day at dawn. Fortress of the Dead Jarl Castle made from ice. Frost Giant Home is 10 miles from Utla ruins. Malton is the new Everfrost. Foreign is where the bugbears of the Allfather are. You
the
have
only-
Fortune
Wait,
has
wait,
the
wait,
token
wait,
of
wait. What were you
friendship.
saying? What were you saying?
The only other thing I have is mentioning foreign. So,
Foreign.
yes.
And what'd you
there's-
write down about foreign?
That there's a bunch of giants that live there, and we have a tooth which acts as
Token
passage.
of friendship.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Fordrum has that, and it came
So-
from Malton, the new Evercrossed.
All right. So, one thing that was mentioned to you offhandedly, because I have it in my notes that this is information revealed to you, was Kaltzel, the outer island, Kaltzel,
Uh-huh.
is home to an undead warlock of Asmodeus, who does a lot of dealings for any individual who comes there in exchange for souls and other choice things.
We got that. That does not.
No, I do not recall that at all.
I have it marked
No.
down that it might have been in one of the explanations of everything I gave to you guys very quickly, and you just didn't write it down.
I guess, yeah, because I don't see anything mentioning anything like that.
Kaltzel? Yeah. You guys
Yeah.
were wondering about all of the islands outside of it, and she went on a very long description of
that
whatever
might have
she
been
knew
when we
about
were
them.
looking at which island was close enough to walk. That's
Maybe.
probably when we got that. All
You
my
think
notes regarding Islecross is when we were actually physically there.
You think that warlock would do anything for a really cool shell and like 10 pounds of drugs?
Well, wasn't the conversation just an undead warlock? Doesn't that kind of sound like a lit?
Nah, we're already
Not
fighting one of
necessarily.
those.
Granted, selling one's soul to become undead would probably be an alternative to maybe being a lich. But would that island be within the barrier of the wild magic zone?
Yes, it still is.
Okay.
Just figured I would remind you of that, because apparently everybody forgot about it.
Yeah, I have no notes about Callsdale.
That was, to be fair, like a year ago.
Yeah, but you know what my notes are like, and I still don't have it written down.
Yeah, that's strange, because I don't know, unless I fucked up, but I copy and paste what information she gave you, and what
I might have
NPCs
just missed
give
it.
you.
I mean, it's possible I missed it. I have her name and the name of her ship, the Doll Ambassador.
So, go ahead, everybody, discuss what it is you would like to do.
I still think the safest and the first bet would be the Frostwell.
Yeah. Check there first if that fails. We could charter a boat to Council. Because, like I said, we don't know if, even if the ship is completely deactivated of the Brimstone, if even bringing it in that region would cause a surge.
Yeah, I don't want to take the ship to Islecross. It's too much of a risk to the ship. Does anybody disagree with going to the Frostwell?
No.
I guess not.
You sound like you really want to go to Islecross
I
for
do.
I know Broska wants to see you beat up the slaver, but
I'll hold him down.
to be fair, there's a bunch of Goliaths around there, Broska. There are plenty of people that'll pick fight with you just because they think they're bigger than you, even
Sold.
if they're not.
So, are we flying all the way out there, or are you guys gonna use your zippy zappy zooty stuff?
I can only get us so close by Singorn. We probably just as easy just to fly there
Very well.
than it would be to teleport and cross over land.
Gives us another, week and a half of learning Zimnian. That'll bring us to 2.5 weeks on our learning process. You said it takes a month to learn language, right, Joey?
9 weeks. Or 10
9
weeks
weeks.
minus intelligence modifier.
10 minutes. Okay.
So 11 for me.
Yep.
I
2
can do it
months
in
for
5. I can do it in 5 weeks.
We should
But I
just
have other
start
things to do.
swapping languages because that's just probably a good idea.
I mean, only if you care to learn about different languages and the culture surrounding them as well, you know?
Oh, never mind then.
Like, do you really want to understand the intricate and very interesting knowledge surrounding by the culture of giants?
Really?
No, because I already got that one.
Okay, then.
If I wanted to do that, I'd just listen to the headmaster yell at people.
Alrighty, then. So, you all are going to be sailing for a week. Is there anything you all can do on the ship while traveling that you wish to do?
Y'all took away my fishing gear.
Yes, they did.
And it's staying locked up.
I'm going to spend the time working with Jurgen.
Okay. What are you working on?
He's able to cast up to 3rd currently.
Currently, yes.
Okay. Then we will start work on some 4th level magics, trying to get him up to where I'm not expecting him to be able to cast 4th level spells at the end of this, but I'm assuming that's the next step, is getting him practicing more powerful spells than what he's currently doing.
Yes. Which spell are you teaching him? Or which 2 spells are you teaching him?
We'll start with, Resilient Sphere, obviously.
Of course.
And we'll do Arcane Eye.
Ooh.
Question, Argon. Is the 3x3 square of Identify on the ship?
No, we left that behind.
I thought you brought it.
I don't have anywhere to put a 3x3 column of stone. It wasn't a square, it was a 3x3 foot pedestal. It was a 3-foot round
It is
pedestal.
party loot. That's why I was wondering.
Oh,
So
I did not
it
put it in
was-
party loot.
It was
not,
just
we
a
didn't take
slab,
it.
a 3-foot slab,
Right.
and it could identify anything that could fill a 3-foot squared territory on top of it.
Oh, yes, I never put it in the loot, so I don't know who did, because I did not take it.
Would any of y'all have taken it? An identify stone?
Nah.
If not, Capricio's Warlock has something to look forward to loot-wise.
There you go.
I will remove it from our party loot.
Alrighty.
I mean, between me and Fordrum, it's not like we can't cast Identify as much as we want, so
Right.
it'll be a nice win for his whatever she is.
Worshipper.
Yes.
Okay. So, I ask again, what are we working on? Argon is trying to teach his student.
I guess in the afternoons I'd be learning Zimnian from Baraska. And if Forgem needs an extra pair of hands, I can help.
We don't have a forge on the ship, so I can't really forge anything, and everything I got to work on right now needs needs a forge.
Want to do language stuff with us?
Yeah, sure.
Alright.
All right, what are you two offering?
I know some Elven
Got that.
cuss words.
Definitely got that.
Dwarven?
I got those
don't know
cuss words,
that.
but I don't got anything else.
I can definitely teach Dwarven if anybody needs.
I've got quite a few, so take your pick.
Now, I will let you guys know you're either teaching or you're learning. You can't do both within the span of a week. You're either teaching somebody or you are learning from somebody.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well,
Unfortunately, Hooked on Phonics has not been invented by linguists yet.
let me ask a question. So I'm trying to make a rapier out of crystal.
Gemstone. Yeah.
Is
Okay.
that something that would be done in a forge, or is that like gem cutting?
That's gem cutting. Other than when you need to make the handle, the guard, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's
so maybe
gem
I
cutting,
could-
and you need some pretty good equipment to do that as well.
Yeah, I was gonna say maybe I could whittle a little bit, but
Yeah.
Get like the general shape of it down.
sure. I'm also going to unattune from the scarab of protection and put my damn boots back on. Because it's a matter of time before I fall down something horrible.
Oh no, a trap.
Oh no, stairs.
Already.
Yeah, and I'm retrieving my chair from the demiplane.
Of course.
I'll reattune to the chair.
Argon,
guess-
since we got a couple days, if you have the open spell slots, I have 2 more spears that can be enchanted. You want to enchant them?
How many of these do you need?
How many do you think we need along the way? Because I can
Saying that
carry, I can
we've
carry
used
5 spears and 10 javelins.
we've used 4 in the years that we've been traveling. Yeah.
It's always good to be prepared. Never hurts to be prepared, right?
Depends
I
on what
will
you're preparing for.
I will create you 2 more.
Very well. So, who is learning for the week, and who is teaching it for the week?
I'll teach my Zemnian, because it's probably a good idea to have someone else understand that stuff.
All right. And who's learning it?
I'm learning. Be my 2nd week of learning.
Fortram, are you also
Tries-
learning it?
Fordham tries for a day, but then probably gives it up because it doesn't sound. Because it's really difficult.
Yeah, Germanic languages are vastly different than Romantic ones. It becomes very difficult.
Mm-hmm.
And there's nothing more romantic than Dwarvish.
I was gonna say, right. I already know the best of them all.
6 more weeks and I'll have it learned.
Alrighty. Well then, was there anything you wish to try to do? Fortram.
No, I will take out the. So what I have is an onyx piece. It's called the way it was written was an onyx ingot. So it's needing to be shaped, and if that's a possibility through either magical means, because I can use spells like fabricate, or I've got my, the what do they call it? The channel divinity. Even though my channel divinity usually involves metal, but getting together something like a handle or a pommel is probably doable with channel divinity, but I don't know if shaping onyx is really going to fall under that category.
Okay.
But onyx is stone, so it's sort of like chiseling
So- An onyx ingot.
Yeah,
Did I give you a price for this?
you did.
Okay, what is the price?
Please hold while I scroll up.
Because that'll dictate if you can fabricate it or not.
Oh,
Because I believe fabricate has a monetary limit.
sorry. It just says ingot of onyx for the rapier. It can forged. It can into a blade, and it will be able to hold magic. But I don't have a gold piece figure.
That was Zurzar that had that.
Yeah.
All right, so what it is not a pure form of onyx yet. It is in the shape of an ingot so that if you heat it up to an intense degree, you can shape it appropriately and then chisel around in order to make the blade into what you want it to be.
Lengthen it and such,
Yes.
yeah.
And fabricate does not have a stipulation on price, apparently. I thought it did. Or am I thinking of something else?
No, it was complexity. You had to have proficiency in the trade skill.
Which you do.
There it is.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just...
That's why we couldn't make bowls for a feast, is no one has pottery.
So yeah, Forgerum, you could reshape that and then start doing your chiseling. Without a proper forge,
Yeah.
it may be a little bit more difficult for you to accomplish.
So, if
Not
it
forge, without a proper grasp. So you need like a physical clamps to hold it still while you're gently chiseling it through. It will become a bit more complicated. And your jeweler's supplies are good for on-the-go jeweling, of course.
Yeah, and sandbags on the ship aren't gonna be the thing I'm looking for. I'm just, if I can whittle down, I got 7 more weeks of work on it. So if it gets down to, 6.5, I feel like I've accomplished something.
Okay, cool.
Could you use your magic to make like a workbench that has clamps on it? With
Yeah,
fabricate?
but that'll probably take the week, and then we're done. So
Yeah. And next time you stop off in a city somewhere, feel free to try to purchase these things for the ship, because you can just put it on the ship.
Yeah, you
it's
should.
hard because the ship's also a brothel. So I'm sort of.
I think the brothel can use some clamps.
Probably.
I'm pretty sure those are very different.
Multi-purpose clamps.
Probably.
Listen,
so.
minotaurs, all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Bring on the Flugenschreiben.
And as I have that thought, I actually go to the desk that has the weird shit just to see if there's a good clamp or two in there.
All right, investigation. Go ahead.
This is not my forte. It's not supposed to be.
0. Yeah. The moment you open up that cabinet, you just close it.
Right. Yeah, I hear my mom's voice in the back of my head, and I have a strange stinging sensation on the back of my head in memory of that spoon.
Did this just unlock some trauma?
Probably.
Why don't I remember what's in that drawer?
One day.
Anyways, unfortunately, if they do have something like that, you did not spy it.
No.
On a 0.
Yep.
Alrighty then. So I would like a jewel crafter's check from you. Okay. You said you're moving at half speed, correct? That'll lower the DC a little bit.
Sure.
All right. Without proper tools, you are at disadvantage.
I will grant you one of my spell slots.
For what?
Enhance ability.
Oh no.
Can you do that every hour for 8 hours every day? You need 8 of them a day.
I can do it 6. I can only do 6 hours.
Yeah, that doesn't. Unfortunately.
I don't think you can upcast it.
Nope. Oh no, you can use a higher level spell slot to cast it.
Yeah, it's just upcasting doesn't increase the duration.
It does
just
not.
The number of targets.
Yep.
Right. I've done it for 8 hours before. I use a lot of spell slots. It's a thing, but I'm fine. We're gonna just give it a go and see what happens.
All right, go ahead. Disadvantage.
What would you like me to use? Wisdom, strength, Probably
Dexterity.
strength. Or dexterity? Okay.
You're trying to do it gently enough to start shaping the blade out without breaking through it too much.
Fucking hell. I
Well-
rolled a 20 on
The second
one
die.
of the 2 dice.
Yeah.
Chrono shift me. I'm kidding.
I don't think that works over this.
Not
It's
over a
supposed to be
week.
An 8-day period. Yeah.
No, but you could guidance yourself to try not to break it.
There we go. 11.
Alrighty. Well, on the 6th day of travel, there's a random surge of wind that rocks the boat, and you kink a little too hard, and it snaps it in half.
Ah, fuck.
Mending.
Yeah, you're gonna have to start over on that one. Once you start mending one piece, you're mending all the pieces.
Yeah.
Also, mending doesn't work on this because it's longer than 1 foot. Rapiers
thought
are
it was
longer
just-
than a foot, right?
Normally.
Yeah.
That was just the break point.
No. It's whatever. Let's read it. Break or tear an object you touch.
No larger than 1 foot in dimension, in any dimension.
The break or tear. So yeah, you can mending that. Okay, that's good.
Well, I could bend it.
Well, it is going to
Doesn't
fix it up a little bit, and you're going to have to find a different angle to approach it at.
Even still, if I get it to where I can get it hot, the weld will be stronger than the break was anyway, so
Alrighty.
that's the part where I give up. Nah, fuck. Never mind.
I could just see Zurzar using this one day. He's in a fight, he crits, and then it snaps on that break point.
Would I really do that?
Yes.
Anyways,
And he's taking notes with his other hand. Get him.
as you all are sailing across the realm,
Mm-hmm.
you do eventually find your way over back in your home territory. Well, for at least a couple of you. Oh, not 40%. No longer in the frigid location that you all had found yourselves inside of. Now in a new frigid location. The ship sails over top of the Frostweald. And let me get my Frostweald notes up.
Have any of y'all been around Frostfield before?
Not that
Nope.
I remember.
Alrighty. This large pine forested territory is covered in a perpetual state of snow and ice, regardless of the season. This is to a phenomenon, Argon, you'd be aware of, called the Ice Lost Years. As such, this is a very planarly active location across Tal'Dorei, and has a lot of reverence towards the Feywild's Court of Winter in particular. Now, as you are sailing across this territory, you do notice that you see a few nomadic tribes moving around as well. You know that the Shivagut tribes out here are a large humanoid population that choose to stay as far away from civilization because they believe things such as metal and construction of buildings is usually a sign of weakness or a sign of disrespect to what is granted to you thanks to the Wild Mother. However, they are never a hostile folk. They are known for being very welcoming to anybody who might be isolated from their traveling groups or just outsiders in general who need a place to shelter up and learn how to survive.
So we've got nomadics down below. And we're still looking for this school, you said, again?
Yeah, the ruins of the tower are somewhere here,
You think the locals would know?
possibly.
You
Especially if they don't like construction, they might know it just for the sake of avoiding it.
Does anybody know their name? Like the language they speak?
Argan,
I don't
they're
know.
humans.
Was that ever?
They speak
Huh?
common, and Shivergut tribe is what they are referred to. The Shivergut.
Shivergut tribe.
I'm not very good at talking to people, but they would probably know of old things in this territory if they move around as much as nomads do.
It's a good a place to start as any. Problem's going to be approaching them without offending their not wanting. Because I don't think they're going to be super happy with the ship. How many actual days did we travel, Joey?
10.
Yeah, thank you.
So do you want me to let you down there to go talk to them, or do you want me to just fly around aimlessly until I figure out what we're doing?
Yeah,
Yes.
let's go ahead and drop her down. And I'll scale down.
Yup. He boots this wooden barrel over the side, and you watch as a wooden ladder goes all the way down to the ground.
I will scale that down.
Anybody else?
I'm rolling. I'm floating off the ship and then feather falling down.
I'll go down the rope.
I'll fly. I got my boots back.
So, as you all descend down towards the ground, you do notice a few of the tribesmen out here look towards you all. They lift 3 fingers and press them to their foreheads as they look at each of you.
I just do it back.
They smile.
I don't know if you should have. That could mean God knows what.
Yeah, but it could also mean hi. You never know.
Actually, God knows everything. But yeah.
The the individual who gave you that gesture comes approaching over towards you and looks at your chair, Argan, and gives a little bit of a chuckle to himself and smiles at all the rest of you. You all are either lost or looking for something.
We are.
We pretty much both.
We're looking for a tower.
A what?
An old lost tower from an old building long, long time ago.
Building?
House that's tall and skinny. Hut that other humans live in.
I'm messing with you, man. I know what a tower is.
All right.
Oh, thank God, I did not know how to explain
The
that.
hilarious signs of impotence. Anyways.
Hey, my dick works? What?
I'm sorry, but I'm not personally familiar with any towers all the way out here. The ones that our tribe speaks of, well, they've been gone for a long, long time.
Probably those then.
the one we were looking for would have been
Wicked
abandoned
fucking
a
old.
very, very long time ago. There are probably more ruins at this point than an actual tower.
Ah. Runeshak, why you sit? Anybody who understands giant, Runeshak means hybrid of strength and intelligence.
The I sit because this chair acts as a badge of position.
Never seen skinny Runeshak before.
Well, you know, we're not all that common, but we do exist.
The caverns and ruined buildings, failed constructs, are right over that section of the mountain behind us. Runeshak tend to keep others away, keep them out.
There's other rune shack up there.
Yes.
Thank you for pointing us along the path that which we seek. Here's a gift as thank you. And I pull 8 javelins out of my quiver.
He takes a step back and holds his hands up.
They don't like
And
anything
I put them on the
constructed.
ground. This is for you and your kin.
We do not use
They-
weapons created from metal.
No. They're wooden.
Spears have
No, not
metal.
spears. Javelin.
Javelins have metal tips.
Yeah, they're not just pieces of wood.
Yeah. Thank you for gesture. We do not require anything. Help others is
Arson!
easy to do.
Sorry, my wife left food on the table and my dog just jumped on it to grab it.
But you look hungry. Would you like bison meat?
Yes.
Come. He walks backwards. You see one of these put together huts they have out here has smoke bellowing out the top of it. And when he opens it up, you just see a flood of smoke coming out towards you. And it is fragranced with all of manners of unique smelling herbs and different seasonings. And he comes in and walks out carrying this very large leg over his shoulder that has been smoked and cooked to perfection. As he wanders over, and a bison's leg, well, bison out here at least, would be about half the size of Braska.
Oh,
That's
guys want
just a
anything?
leg.
He'll just, hold it out towards you, Braska.
I take.
We give prayers for such fine food that feed us.
Boy, is it.
Pray with me. Holds his hand out to you, Braska.
Okay.
He will hold his other hand up towards the sky and smile widely while looking up towards the sun. Glorious day, bountiful harvests, bountiful hunts. Thank you, mother of this land, Exandria. Your gifts to all of us are appreciated, and we hold dear every moment in our hearts. This animal will rejoin back with the land, back with the soil, as it passes through and strengthens me and my kin and these new companions. He'll look over towards each of you expectantly.
In the Allfather's name, amen?
Then he'll look over at you, Braska.
And it is good that we do that.
He smiles and nods, and then he'll look at Argon.
You're muted, by the way, Argon.
You're muted.
That's because Argon's saying it through very gritted teeth. Thank you, Exandria, for all your bounty and all your helpfulness and useful information.
And then over towards Cynthia.
Thanks to nobody. The one that whispers to the Fae.
Amen.
Almond.
So I can go to town this thing now, right?
You all may share in that bounty. Our hunt has been very fruitful. We found the bison have populated quite well over the last hunt.
Well, that's good. It's always good when the wildlife.
Would you be
repopulates.
interested in some storm crest oysters?
They're nowhere near the ocean.
Yes.
He'll go back inside and come out and hand you a very small little woven box. And when you open it, it's filled with these, what might be oysters?
Why does that name sound familiar?
Stormcrest oysters?
Yes.
Because I've used this once before.
Okay.
Well,
Do you know, are the, was it Rashka?
Runeshak.
Runeshka. Are the Runeshka violent, or do they just not let people into their area? Or,
They are not fans of allowing people to come through. Many civilized, he uses air quotes when he says that, people believe that land is owned and conquered and try to do so. Runeshak fight off those that would come through. We simply trust the chaotic nature of this land to protect us from people that attempt to take over.
Yeah, we're not.
I guess
looking
I'm
to,
just curious. Oh, go ahead. To the
We're definitely not looking to take what belongs to y'all.
Not me. Nothing belongs to anyone.
The land belongs to Exandria.
The land is Exandria. It is alive, it breeds. You cannot own it as much as you could own a person.
Some parts of the world, you're not getting into it.
I guess my question was more, are they going to attack us on sight, or would we have the chance to at least talk to them?
Is there a means of opening dialogue?
You speak to them in Runeshak. They will listen. You ask to speak to Rune Tethal.
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 If she wishes to speak, she will hear you. If she sees greed or hatred, she may attack. Depends on mood. But you are Runeshak. Skinny, but they may listen.
Well, that's about all I can hope for.
Got any more of that bison?
The rest is for our family.
Oh.
If we find one, we'll get you another bison, Braska.
Damn right.
If you kill bison, you use every part.
Of course.
The skin, the eyes, the intestines, the meat, the soil.
The soil?
Soil?
Dung.
Ah.
Every part.
Compost.
The gift of these animals should be respected as they have lived as we have. You do not
Oh man,
waste.
this is have a lot of fun.
Well, there is a garden on board our ship. We can definitely make use of the soil.
Good. He does the same gesture of 3 fingers to the forehead.
What does that mean?
He smirks. If you know, you know. And he'll give a respectful nod towards Forge Room.
Yeah,
Lucked
he's
at that
BRB.
one, didn't you, Fordrum?
He is slightly AFK for the moment.
Argon, are you proficient in religion?
No.
I am.
Oh. Yeah, but you haven't
Yeah.
ventured enough to know. Okay, then. Well, then. You all have a better idea of the area you need to go to. Also, wooden birds would probably be shot down by Runeshak.
Yeah, I'm gonna. If it's not that far, Argon, I suggest the ship meets us maybe in the lake of Formir.
Or
Yeah,
Sengorn or wherever.
They can beat us in Singorn. Singorn has docks.
Well met.
Thank you for your hospitality and information.
Of course.
Thanks for the bison.
Of course.
Yes, thank you for the bison.
Thank you for respecting our way. And as you all go walking out towards the mountain range itself and looking for the rune shack, we can go ahead and go and break, everybody, for your back.
Right.
Hello, and welcome everybody out there in YouTube and D&D land. I hope you're all having a fantastic day today. Oh, I already did that part. Welcome back! I hope everybody is enjoying their time. They got their refreshments, used the bathroom. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and if you're interested in any of our open slots, we do have slots available. Be sure to reach out to me and let me know. So, you all were given the information surrounding the Stormcrest Mountains and the Rune Shock, and how you might be able to find the physical location of the Retis Tower out here. You were warned that a flying bird, or ship, as you guys call it, would probably get shot out of the sky by the Rune Shock, so probably not the best idea to use that to get out here. So, now it is time to take the journey on foot. Or do you all want to risk your ship? Your call.
Oh, God, no.
I mean, what's a whole bunch of, like, you know, nomadic nobody's gonna do to an airship?
What would
I
you
know what
say
I could do.
they-
I've seen what his mother does to ships.
Yeah, they're not the same thing. They'll probably do as much as Braska can do with a spear against a dragon while on an airship. Just-
So, kill it with its own baby?
baby,
Pick up small ship, throw it.
just throw smaller ships at us.
No, we're going to be hoofing it.
Alrighty. Well, since you're hoofing it, would anybody be so kind as to take the initiative for the survival check?
Sure.
Sure.
All right, both of you go ahead.
I'll assist.
$19.
28.
Alrighty. Finding your way through the Frostweald is, well, difficult at first until you start to realize that it's just like any other territory that would be fully encased and filled with this, how do we call it? Perpetual snow and landscape. As weird as it sounds, this is something that your characters would be coming across more and more frequently at this point. You want to go near to the trees, but not directly underneath for, well, respect out of the bears and such that are probably looming inside of them. You want to stay away from any large drifts of wind that cut across the landscape, as that could carry easily with it any avalanches or things such as that. And you want to keep your eyes out for anything that might be dangerous along the way. Speaking of dangerous along the way, I need a perception check from somebody who is not the ones giving the survival checks.
I'll do it.
Go for it.
21.
We like 21. As you are wandering across the Frostweald, you notice this gust of wind that pushes by past you. And then another one that passes by, and that catches you off guard, so your interactions with dragons, you look up. All you can see is just flurries in the air, but these flurries seem to be circling around in the air.
Gents, there's something going on. Look up in the air. Oh, wait a minute. I just got a message from Ilvorn also. He says, good work. They recently battled another pair of Volstruckers. They escaped. Not clear on their numbers. The Empire attacked a town called Othi. And then Othi and Phelan are now aligning with Tal'Dorei. Or allying with Tal'Dorei. Anyway, look up. They're swirls. Strange.
Just to look up.
This isn't natural.
Well, nature check, if you want to make a statement such as that. Anybody here proficient in nature?
Yes, there is.
Go ahead, Braska.
Our druid.
Our greatest druid.
7. They have a name for things like these. Twirlies, twisty pools. Can't put your finger on it.
Swirlix, Twistonomicon, nope. Got it. There's a word for this. I know I'm close.
The Twistonomicon? I don't know if I've ever heard of that book.
So, as you're all debating what it is, you look up into the sky, all of you, and you feel the winds are picking up considerably more at this point in time. In fact, it's making somewhat of a cyclone in the sky, spiraling down and down and down to the ground. Braska, it's a snow-nado.
That's it. Snownado. Oh shit, Snownado.
Everybody,
Did y'all piss something off? to cause
please
this?
drag yourselves onto the map and roll
I mean,
initiative.
usually.
No, it's just fucking weather, bro. Like, it's weather.
I knew I should have. I almost memorized control weather today.
Is the initiative counter up?
It should be.
I don't see it either.
Oh, they moved everything. I'm sorry. I pushed dice, not initiative.
Oh, did you do the toolbar?
Yeah, I have to see what it is.
Yeah, I'm messing with it too to see if it's any different. I don't really know that it's that much different.
Initiative.
All right. Hey, that's good for most of you. As you see the tornado starting to spiral downwards and begin to touch ground, the moment it touches ground, you see a velocity of it starting to move and push across the landscape. But you get to react first. Cynthia, what are you doing?
I'm going to do something for the entire party.
Okay.
I'm going to take my rope that's on my bag and pull it out, flick it up into the air, and cast rope trick.
Alrighty. Now movement speed.
I'm getting up my rope.
So, all of you watch as snap upwards with the rope, a small little extra dimensional space opens up, and do. Wait a second. Roll rope trip in chat for me, please. Extra dimensional space.
Yeah. It can hold up to 8 people.
Can't go in that.
Okay, yeah, no, it works. It's fine. So, you toss it up there, climb on up, and that is your turn. Argon!
I guess I will follow Cynthia up the rope.
Are you climbing up there?
Yes.
Alright.
Do I have to roll athletics or something?
No, that's just your movement speed, but if you're climbing
Okay.
up there, your chair doesn't climb up with
Oh,
you. You
well,
need the
that's
fly
not gonna
spell to
happen.
do that.
All right. Well, in that
I'll
case,
carry the chair.
Oh, all right.
So, you grab onto the rope and get yourself up there. Alright, Braska?
I'll carry the chair up the rope.
Alrighty. You pick up the chair and start climbing up the rope as best as you can. And Snownado. Let me roll a d20. 14, not so bad. Now we have to roll a d6. 5. A little bad. So, as this thing begins moving across the landscape, you begin to feel the soil underneath your feet, Fordrum, lift slightly as you look at a couple of the trees nearby that are apparently getting sucked up in towards this thing. Fordrum, a tree gets ripped out from behind you. I need you to give me a dex save.
Oh, those are my favorite. There you go. Not
Oh,
as
jeez.
4. The tree clonks you into the back of the head and, unfortunately, will knock you prone. That is going to be 3d6 bludgeoning for a grand total of 13 bludgeoning damage.
nice.
And the tree goes flying off and starts swirling around inside of the tornado. Alrighty. Cynthia got any? Or, sorry, Fordrum, your turn.
Do I still see the rope, or is that just?
Yeah, the rope's there.
So then I'll grab the rope and try and climb up into the
All
hole as well.
So, how high up is the rope? Cynthia?
About 30 feet.
30 feet. So, half movement to stand up is 15, and then climb speed is halved while you're
Right.
climbing. So, you get another 10 feet up the rope. There's 20 more feet of rope to go.
I don't. I only get 7 more feet up the rope.
I
only
round up 7.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, I always round up. It's yeah.
So there I am.
Alrighty. You're 10 feet up the rope. Cynthia!
I'm going to pull the rope with him on it up into the hole.
Athletics check.
This is going to be fun.
Yep, you're trying to lift the dwarf.
$14.
14 is not enough to get him all the way. You get him about 5 more feet up, and dwarves are heavy.
Well,
Why are you so fat?
Rude.
I make my boots fly so I can flip her off and let go with one.
That's on your next turn.
Right,
All right, Argon.
That's less than 4 words.
Yeah.
I will help pull Fordrum up.
Alrighty, athletics. Or are you doing the help action?
No, I'll do athletics.
All right. As soon as
'Cause
you know your chair is secure, you reach down and
Yes.
start pulling Fordrum up as quickly as you can. Damn, that would have been real good for your chair.
It would have,
All right.
but I trust Braska to carry my chair more than I trust me.
Braska, are you doing anything?
I mean, do I need to now?
I'm leaving it up to you.
If Fordrum still needs help getting in, I'll do that. Otherwise, yeah, I'm good.
Alrighty. Well then, we're going to leave the initiative order.
You can see out of the extra dimensional place. You just can't interact with the exterior
Mm-hmm.
while inside. We've got an hour to determine our next point of action.
So, as you all are huddled up inside of this, you look around in awe at some of the loose debris and trees that are getting lifted up by this random tornado out here. This act of nature's aggression and power as it lifts and throws things around as easily as if it's Braska lifting up a cart and throwing it, which you all have seen him do. Well, sorry, some of you have seen him do, so you know how difficult that is for him. As you look at this, about 10 minutes go by, and then the tornado that had touched down lifts up and dissipates into the air. You all
That was
still...
intense.
Yeah, that was quite the storm.
You want to give
Yeah.
it another 10 minutes just to be safe?
Yeah, might as well. Just wait till it dies down completely. The spell was handy.
So how does this thing work?
So, the way my father taught me was if you take a length of rope and you infuse it with the magic around nature, you can make a pocket that you can take a power nap in, if need be. It's also good for like hunting because you can sit inside of it, watch the wildlife, and then as soon as something comes within range of your expertise, you can drop out of it and take it down.
So we're in an extra dimensional space, and you chose to put it 30 feet in the air?
Well, yeah.
Huh. Okay.
I mean,
Is
you
that a
could have
problem?
made the climb a lot shorter. I think is what he was getting at.
I mean, it could have been a foot off the ground. If we had just stepped in, there could have been no climb at all, really. It's an extra dimensional space, right? Isn't it like stepping into your bag of holding?
don't
I
know
mean,
anyone who's
unless we're
walked into
also
a
up
bag
here
of
to
holding.
hunt something.
I'm down.
So let's not give Brosk any ideas and things for him to try.
Yeah, no, I get it. I don't, trying to follow some logic, that's all.
I've always been taught to use at least half your feet of rope. That way you get a vantage point of anything that's around. Especially out here in the snow. With all this wind, it's probably raised the snow level up a little bit. You wouldn't want to be trapped for an hour.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it did that though. It just blew everything around. Like it really, I mean, kind of where it touched down is like even a little, well, there was kind of a dirt spot, but I don't know.
Oh, regardless, the spell helped us stay out of it. I imagine this would have been a much more drastic scenario without it.
It's a good question too. How do you fight wind like a tornado?
Well, you
Because I was
don't.
trying to think about it. Like, do I thunder clap it, or
You can throw another tornado at it.
right? Maybe another tornado.
What beats wind?
Mountain. It's like
Yes.
rock paper scissors.
What would the scissors be in that?
Fire.
A big, big sword.
All the elements are sort of like your rock paper scissors thing. So, wind opposite earth, water opposite fire. That's all.
Yeah, I don't have a lot of like natural magic. What little magic I have is more for like the hunt and for protection.
Good.
So
Yeah,
a
you
little
should-
bit of things like this that could be used like utilitarianly wise, and then some for like in the heat of battle.
Yeah. Good. Yeah, you'll need all of those to protect Argon. Well, are we getting out?
Yeah, let's keep moving.
All right.
From up here, we can't see any.
You can see out all around you.
Can we see a tower?
No.
Okay.
We're only 30 feet up off the ground.
No, you never know.
Just saying. 30 feet up's a pretty good distance, and a lot of trees have been ripped out, so we got a little vantage. Yes.
True.
I'm not going to be 30 feet up again here, so I figured I'd take this moment to peek.
I've never seen a snowstorm come that suddenly without like a change in pressure or anything like that. So that was kind of odd.
That happens all the time.
Yeah, I felt a change. Well, kind of. It was weird that it blew past twice, and then that made me sort of look around and then see what was coming. But it could have been something up above us. A long time ago we had a angry storm. What were those things?
Archons.
Primordial. We had an angry storm primordial that used to harass us once in a while.
Neat.
I can't imagine why she would be way over here, but why not?
I don't know. She was only after us because of the drug pusher druid, so
Drug
Yep.
pushing druid.
yes.
Could also be that big rock,
Big rock.
the one that fell out of the portal, killed the deer.
Oh god, that thing again.
But we're nowhere near that place, right?
No.
So that'd be a weird thing to have over here.
Mm.
All right, well, let's keep moving.
Yep.
Okay, everybody out of the hole.
Alrighty. You all climb down, you flick your rope, get it back, and you all get to keep on journeying.
Woo.
By the end of the day, you manage to crest up into the beginning paths of the mountain range itself. Though there is no laid path with rope and guards around the perimeter, you can still find a, traveler's path. Something that is meant to be climbed upon and traversed. In fact, there's these divots in the wall. The divots in the wall seem to be placed in areas that it would be precarious to traverse across without them. Little hand grips for you to grab on the inside of. And as you were passing by, Argon, you being a Goliath, would notice that they are far bigger than would be necessary for you.
Oh,
Everyone else can still grab onto them as you pass by. Argon, you're grabbing it like closer to your waist as you move along. Braska, same for you. Fordrum, you're lifting up right above your head. And Cynthia, same for you. As you're moving across this, traveling up around the mountains, what was the perception check again? 20?
21, I believe.
21.
Yeah,
Towards
21.
the end of the evening, you all stand close to the peak of the first mountain within this range that you were traversing across to get to your destination. As you stand up there, Fordrum, you take a deep breath in, and there's a sense of familiarity high up inside of the mountains. The crispness of the air, the slight dizzy and lightheadedness that you would have unless you control your breathing very specifically, and the cleanliness of it all. Being this high up, there's nowhere else in the realms other than high up in a mountain where you can breathe air this clean.
Nice.
As you are doing that, you look up at the moon, which happens to be full tonight.
Like a big pizza pie.
A gigantic shining spotlight across this landscape that you are now standing on top of. You see the numerous different large peaks of mountains across this area. You can see where the snow begins on top of them, falling and cresting down, and even ending in certain locations over towards the west, and then deeper down towards the ground where it cascades and accumulates down below. As you were looking across all of this, you notice maybe about 100, 200 feet away from you, there's a slight glimmer and reflection off of something on a different mountain peak.
Anybody see that over there? And I point at where I saw the glimmer.
23 passive. Once it's pointed out to you, yeah, you notice.
I see something. It might be a fire or something.
I think
Maybe
it's a
there's an encampment.
moonlight, Clint. Does it... I keep staring in that direction to see if it's somebody trying to get our attention or if it's just accidental movement that reflected off of something.
Give me an insight check.
I don't have the eyes to see this far, but insight?
Yeah.
17.
Seems to have been a reflection off of something that was moving.
Yeah. I think there's something moving over there that's shiny enough to reflect.
Shiny? Where?
That's
Right up
odd
there.
because, like, they don't like metal or anything like that up here.
Then we can take it. Who cares?
That's the different group. The ones we just talked to don't like metal. The Goliaths may not have the same mentality.
Right.
I'll
Well-
summon Otis and send him out to go see what he can spot.
Okay.
If you're gonna summon Otis, I have something I can try if you want.
Okay.
I'm gonna use Beast Sense on Otis. This will allow me to see through his eyes.
Otis isn't technically a beast.
I see not.
Otis is a celestial, a fae, or a fiend.
Correct. So you can't see through
Ah.
their eyes.
They're not truly animals. Familiars aren't. They just look like it.
They're fakes, like warlocks.
Yeah. Yep. They're fake animals. They're cheater animals.
Mm,
I need a pet of some
Rather than
kind.
going through all the effort of training an owl to be, a pet and be useful, I just summoned one out of air and just made it go do things.
Braska, what did you just say?
I need a pet.
Roll me a D100.
Oh god.
this is how Braska gets a bison. 14.
Dang.
By the look on Joey's face, he hit the number.
Oh my
I just got a
God.
dragon.
I just realized something. I feel bad for the Moorhounder.
Oh yeah, it's
I'm
off
dead.
It's off with Broska's dad still.
He's taking care of it, probably.
Braska,
Yeah.
as you are contemplating, you look down at the ground and you notice hopping up the pathway is this large red-eyed rabbit that has a horn on its head.
Oh, that's cute.
The rabbit, as it sits and pounces across the ground, comes up just shy of your knee.
That's a big fucking rabbit.
It looks over at you.
Hello.
It takes one hop towards you.
I take one hop towards it.
And it seems to be eyeing the remaining bits of meat on the bison leg that you have.
Remaining?
Yeah, they're scraps.
You don't know me that well.
It's a whole fucking bison leg. That shit can feed a village.
80 people.
Exactly. Like,
Yeah, your max meal count has always been around 50.
No, then I got to 80.
so it's eyeing the remains of the bison leg.
I think it's hungry, Braska.
You want some of this?
You see a gleam in its eye as it squats to the ground and lunges horn first over towards the bone and snaps through the bone.
Oh, I like you.
It then rips or attempts to rip the bison leg out of your hands. Are you allowing it?
I'll give it like a little playful resistance, but nothing like real.
And as it takes it, it keeps pounding or pouncing away. Before
I'm
you hear
following
well, as you get closer, you hear this gnarling sound of biting and tearing and ripping as you look over, and it appears that the bone is being eaten by this rabbit.
It's cool.
It's like a goat. It'll literally eat anything.
I'm gonna call him Broska Jr.
But you might want to.
I had a turtle named Troy. I had a cat named Toy. Funny thing, they were both older than me. Community is still one of the funniest fucking shows ever. So, as it is eating portions of the leg, Fordrum, you notice that reflection off in the distance again.
There it is again.
I'm just waiting for Otis to make a pass because I'm not going to be able to see anything. I know that,
All right.
not at this distance.
Have Otis roll a perception check. And I know owls technically in the game don't have dark vision. You're
Yes, they
fucking...
do.
What?
Owls have 120-foot dark vision.
When did
Yeah,
they
they-
finally change that?
I don't know. They have 120-foot dark vision and advantage on perception checks.
I swear to God, my OG book and everything I had from back then, they never had it. Wizards,
They may have changed it
you
eventually.
made a correct decision and changed
Yeah.
something for the better. Owls have fucking dark vision.
Yeah, they hunt at night. They're
Yeah.
supposed to.
Not all, but you know.
Like,
owls
I could
have
understand
fucking-
if they had, like, sunlight sensitivity because they're usually asleep during
It's
the
like
day.
cats.
Like
Cats
me.
have dark vision. Fuck you. Like,
That's the one I think that's still wrong. I think that one's actually still wrong in the
cats
book.
have dark vision. Come on,
Yes,
I
they
don't
do.
care what anybody says, they do. So just
I have enough cats to know they can see where they're going in the dark.
yeah. Just like
Ah.
mice can't see. Yeah.
Otis rolled a 21.
Oh, that's good. As Otis is flying around, you see that there are these very large looking Goliath folk, but their physiology seems different from the physiology of Goliaths that you're familiar with, Argon. Their arms are long and lanky, their hands and fists are maybe 3 times the size of yours, and there seems to be about 4 or 5 of them hanging on just with one arm through one of those open cracks that you've been traveling across on this mountain yourself. And there's one other one who's standing there. A woman with braided long hair and almost like a storm in her eyes, with a large staff in her hands as she's touching a necklace staring out over the canyon, directly over towards all of you.
I think it might still be hungry, Broska. It's almost completely devoured that bone.
Let's see. I could probably find something else. We're in woods. There's stuff to eat in woods.
You're on a mountain.
Oh, I still have some stuff in my bag.
So, Argon,
I think we found
Runeshuk.
Tharl. Is that how you said her last name?
Runthro.
Tharl?
Let me look at the...
It's Tetharl.
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 Oh,
Yeah, it's difficult to
That-
say if you've never spoken Spanish before in your life.
Yeah,
Like
which
me.
I barely passed Spanish in
Baño.
2 years. And that was
That
a very,
took
very long
French.
time ago.
Baño. Aquafina.
My guess is that so there's a group of different looking Goliaths on that other mountain, led by what appears to be a female. I'm gonna guess that that's the person we're supposed to that has to give permission.
you know, you want to give Otis a note so he can deliver it to her?
I think we'll probably be better off going over and talking.
Maybe she has some bones.
Maybe she does. Though I imagine it's going to take some time to get over to the other mountain. Since I'm assuming we have to climb down ours and up that one.
Mm-hmm.
Unless everybody just wants me to make them fly.
I mean, that would be easy.
I just don't know how that will. I don't know. It'll either really impress her or really piss her off.
Sin,
50-50.
add one more viewer inspiration thanks to the goose. You're up to, like, what, 5 now? And Braska
That'd be
add one
fun.
as well.
Oh, hey.
Thank you, Goose.
So you wish to walk over there?
I think we'll fly over there. No, that's a 6th level spell to do all of us.
Well, there's only 4 of us.
Yeah, which is a 6th level spell.
Well, the other 2 are with you. They're just not. And
Well,
also,
one of them
Capriccio
can
can fly, Forgem
Oh,
can
yeah.
fly. So there's only 4 of you.
Yeah, so it's still 6. Aye.
7 if you want the jackrabbit.
I can carry the jackrabbit.
Yeah, I'm not.
His
I
name is
don't.
Broska Jr., by the way.
I don't know that casting Fly on Broska Jr. would end well. I'm pretty sure Broska Jr. would not accept that well. I don't think it has the mentality to do so.
Well,
I could talk to him, you know.
do
Can
you have
you?
to speak with animals
Yeah.
as well?
I just do that, yeah.
Yeah, tell him if he comes with you, you'll feed him.
You want more food?
I do not want for food. I want to devour a flesh.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll get to some of that, too.
How did you find it?
He rolled the 14.
Oh, what's that? Mighty Python Rabbit or whatever.
Yes.
The Jackrabbit of the Crusade.
Yeah, I don't remember what it was called anymore.
The only character I know of Mighty Python is Tim. So,
They killed it with the holy hand grenade.
We're not
The
going
killer
to
rabbit
head...
of Kirbanog.
There you go. We're not going to head straight towards them.
okay.
You know, maybe like around the side of the mountain or somewhere.
You said she's looking at us?
Yes.
Fortune, do you think that, like, sign that the other people did is a good gesture?
I don't know. I feel like our interaction afterwards went really well, so I feel like we're 1 for 1, and that's better odds than we've had on other things.
Argan, maybe you should try doing that first, since you are one of their people.
Maybe.
Maybe it's a greeting of some sort.
No, wait. I think we're dealing with different people, though.
We are dealing
This
with
is a
different
vastly
people.
different community of people. One is welcoming, accepting, as they are referred to, and the other, you were straight up told, yeah, if you didn't have a Goliath with you, they'd probably attack first.
Yeah. So,
So they're more my kind of people, which isn't a good
Yes.
thing.
But you
Just-
have a Goliath with you.
yes.
Maybe
So-
we go the old standard, just wave.
Good work.
So we'll fly close to where we can go there on foot without it taking a whole friggin' day.
Okay. So, you all begin flying over across the canyon. As you are doing that, your familiar stays close by over towards this group of individuals, correct?
Yes.
As it is flying in the sky, you can see the Rune Shock woman looks over at it, clearly noticing it in the air, and back over towards the direction all of you are coming from. As you find a position to perch up on and wait, you begin wandering across over towards them, and Otis contacts you, Argan,
Mm-hmm.
informing you that they let go of the cliff and just fell into the snow.
At least some of them are probably hiding in ambush in the snow. Just so you all know. So keep your eyes open in case we manage to offend them, which is not my goal. But I know how a lot of our talks tend to go. So, though we've been on a kind of a hot streak with the last two. Our last two social interactions have not involved fights. So,
Or homicide.
yeah, that's a lot for us.
So we're due for a combo breaker. Got it.
And the two before that were homicidal. So,
Well, yeah, so I said that this was good for us. That's not common. Homicide's far more common for us.
My real question is, if we kill all of them, is this now considered a genocide?
I don't know that this is all of them.
Oh, okay. All right.
And I don't intend to try and kill all of them.
All right.
I'm
just
just
trying to
think our
figure out-
intention was to kill any of them.
I mean, if we kill
with.
any of them, we're probably going to want to kill all of them.
I'm just trying to figure out when it goes from Geno to Homo to other side. That's where I'm trying to figure it out. I don't know.
Yeah, it becomes genocide, I think, when you kill enough of them to seriously harm their chance of continuing as a functional society.
Oh, it's society size. Got it.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
But
Yeah,
they're
species.
nomadic, so it doesn't even matter.
Yeah.
And they're not like anyone's brother or anything, right? We don't have to deal with any of that shit.
Not that I'm aware of.
I mean,
Good.
if you're gonna bring that up, it could be Bernie's.
No, not Bernie's.
We'll deal with that later.
All right.
It would be Mirian's. Mirian's the Goliath.
Oh, right. But aren't they brother and sister?
Yeah, but they're not the same
Well, they're
species.
brothers. Mirian is
They're
a guy.
brothers. Yeah.
He's a wizard. His name's Mirian.
Yeah.
If he
There's
wasn't
species?
a Goliath, he would have been made fun of so bad.
So we know. Wait, all of them dropped down to the snow. You said.
That's what Otis told Arkin,
Including her, or just the ones that were hanging on the cliff?
including her.
Okay.
So,
I think you should be the only one that speaks.
That's probably best. At least until we've established some sort of initial communication.
Before we go in, do you have a name, little guy?
Dabby.
Nabby?
Dabby.
Dabby. Okay.
I thought he said stabby.
That is what he did to that bone.
Dabby does stabby.
Stabby the stabby.
He does a good stabby. Just in case it comes up and they want to know what his deal is.
Okay.
The important questions. As you all are traveling, about an hour goes by and the air up here is very thin, so it is difficult for any of you who don't have high altitude benefits as a race to endure. That means Forgem and Argon, you're doing pretty all right, but Cynthia and Braska, you are both finding it harder and harder to breathe as you are traveling up here. You are heaving and exhaling and breathing at, well, a lot higher of a rate than you usually ever would for how much you've been traveling.
Does Fordham notice?
Oh, absolutely. It's hard not to hear them.
Okay. Then I turn around and I go, listen. Big, slow, deep breaths in, hold for a count, blow out. You gotta, cold air needs a second to get the oxygen into your brain. I know it seems weird because you want to breathe faster, but bigger, slower breaths work better.
I can do that.
Yep.
As you're
And-
having
Drink
Yep.
water.
as you're having this conversation, you notice mounds of snow around your group back of you, in front of you, begin lifting as 4 large rune-shock Goliaths break out from it. Not holding any traditional weapons, but instead holding in their hands small boulders at the ready. As the 4 of them jump out, you hear a clicking noise, and above your heads, there's 2 more of them that are hanging on, angling down as well, readying themselves to pelt. And as all 6 of these individuals seem to appear around you, you hear from further up the path that you are traveling towards a voice call out. You are not of the Rune Shack. Leave this mountain. It belongs to no one.
I will. Is it in Giant or is it in Common?
It's in Giant.
Okay. I will respond in Common. I am looking for Rune Tathar. I wish to speak to her. I'm not looking to claim any claim on the mountain.
You watch as that same woman that Otis had noticed before steps out from the shadows and towards you all. She looks only at you, Argon, and continues speaking in Giant. What do you use my name to beckon me for?
Because we are looking for permission to pass through your area.
With
We
what
are looking-
purpose?
We are looking for ancient ruins. What was probably once a tower long, long ago, where we believe something that was either was or is a great evil may reside. As it bears similarities to an enemy that we are fighting, and we're hoping to learn something from its demise, even if we have to instigate it.
You come here for knowledge of what you seek?
Yes.
And where did you hear my name?
We spoke to the people farther down, or on the other side of the mountains. They told us that if anyone would talk to us, it would possibly be you.
The last to come through here asked for our favor and assistance, helped us. We gifted them with power that they did not return. People from your way of life. Do you bring with you what they took?
I don't know what they took. I mean, I guess theoretically it's possible I have it, but without knowing what it is they took, I can't honestly answer that question.
Unless they took this rabbit. Kind of doubtful.
I don't think that's just any rabbit.
Yeah, it's my rabbit.
Well,
I don't think most rabbits are carnivores.
They
nor do they
took
have horns.
with them the kiss that we were granted by the Changebringer. Do you not have this?
Anybody know who the Changebringer is?
One of the gods. I don't know. So many. I'm trying to keep track.
Yeah, I've heard of it. It's a god.
Could I roll history to see if I've ever heard of anything like this?
Religion.
I can't. I don't. Well, can I roll religion? I'm not trained in it.
You can because this is an item.
Okay.
Can I roll religion because I'm trained in it?
Then yes. 16 is not high enough. 18 is not
18?
high enough.
Anything that can help. I'm not
I'm
familiar with this god. Argon.
I'm afraid I'm not familiar with anything called the Kiss of the Changebringer. Do you have any kind of description about what it is? Maybe they call it by a different name where other people are at?
I do not know of any different names for this. It is what it is. A kiss granted to our people for servicing and protecting for the Changebringer. They needed it to fight vile undead that was coming back to ascend to godhood.
Oh.
Vorvik was its name.
Warvik was the name of the great evil they were fighting?
Vorvik, yes.
Warvik?
You being from Tal'Dorei, you would know this. This happened in one of the other games. Vorvik was the previous champion to the what is that? Oh, was one of the previous champions to the Queen of Ravens. However, was stripped of that title and responsibility because of the dealings that he did and the manner at which he conducted himself on the battlefield during the Calamity. He was resurrected through some type of means in the Ivy Heart Thicket a few years back. And he is the reason why the thicket is now the Deadwood. All of the trees were burned. The entire forest was destroyed. The grounds at which he was trying to resurrect and conduct his business were consecrated. And he is to blame for many different legendary warriors' deaths, such as Pike Trickfoot.
Oh.
This was nearly 4 or 5 years ago.
Is there any mention of anything in those stories that would make me guess as to what this Kiss of the Changebringer is? Now that I have more reference.
Roll me a history.
I'll assist.
With it being regarding undead,
The Kiss of the Changebringer has nothing to do with the undead. I was explaining the circumstance surrounding why they got it. All right, 19. So, you know, in order to take on a foe that powerful, you would need something powerful. A whole different class of magical items. Probably a vestige or a singularity, based off of it being an object from one of the gods. Probably a vestige.
I'm afraid I do not know where the Kiss of the Changebringer ended up after the fight where they defeated him. I know a great deal of the people that went to face him died. So I don't know if maybe it was lost during the battle.
I'd require
if-
this item back.
What was that? That sounded really stern. What'd she say?
She requires the item back before they'll help us.
Hmm.
We don't have anything to do with this shit, though.
Can you ask her if we come across it, we would promise to bring it back?
I think that's what the first group did and didn't bring it back.
Yeah,
Hence the problem.
Okay.
So
the
she
first
trusted
group took it from them and didn't return it, and now we're being denied information because another party decided to screw over these people.
Well, you don't even necessarily know they decided to screw over them. It could have been lost, or the person that had it died.
All right. So we can negotiate with honesty or with promises. I would go for honesty.
And promises.
Nope. You don't make promises you can't keep. So first start with honesty, then down negotiate, finally with promises.
And what exactly is that honesty? I've already tried that. We don't have it.
Yeah. So now we just say, then will you just let us pass so we can search on our own?
Dunfer, you may speak directly to me, she says in common. Dunfer in Dwarvish translates to beneath rock. Not an insult, just as a stature.
Yeah. I look at her and I go, and I smile as big as I can, and I go, thank you. So
you speak to me in your tongue, she says in Dwarvish.
So then in Dwarvish, I'll say to her, we're trying to end a war. One that doesn't yet involve you, I hope. So if you're unwilling to help us, okay, that's fine. But we still need to accomplish what we've set out to do. And I would say we now know of what you are missing. And should it cross our path, I would be more than willing to do what we could to return it, or inform you of it, or at least update you on it. But unfortunately, without knowing anything more about it, I don't have anything else to offer but honesty.
You used a strange word. War. What is that?
It's where two peoples are battling each other for all different kinds of reasons. Sometimes for land, sometimes for hatred of beliefs, sometimes for I don't know, resentment, for any kind of other petty objective. Sometimes over women or marriages, or
why
like if you went
do you need this tower? You should simply let these people fight, and one wins and one loses.
Because there is one among them who is a living dead person and wields great power and is unbalancing some of the world and causing great harm to our families, to our friends, to those that he comes across. And given time, given his ideology, this would potentially come to even your mountain.
If there is only one man, alive or dead, Would it not just be simpler to challenge the man and kill him?
No, because he is magically enhanced so that he's not yet killable here.
We're working on it.
We're working on killing him. What we would find here might give us the recipe to be able to ultimately kill him.
You plan on using Astaro's notes, his teaching and things he learned, his study, in order to kill this man, in order to end the war?
Hopefully, maybe. If Astaros notes give us the recipe we want, then yes.
Fortune,
Yeah.
did you ask her if she knows Zoram or knows of a Zoram?
Okay. Do you know of a Zoram?
No. She looks over at you, Cynthia. Remove your hat.
I remove the hood of my cloak.
You are
I'm an
one
elf.
of
Cat ears.
you are one of his people. The one who took our gift and never returned it. He too was cat-like.
I am part cat, part elf. I if a kinsman took something from your people and we found it later on in our travels, I would bring it back to you.
This person, he was important. Name was Ilarin. History check, Cynthia.
I am not proficient in history.
Yes, but you can still roll. Actually, Argon, you also may roll.
Okay.
Yeah, this is not a skill I'm good with.
25.
Ilarin is a paladin of the Changebringer who was present at the Battle of Vorvik. You don't recall any of the stories or tales saying that he died, just that he was at the battle.
Is the Changebringer a good deity, neutral deity, or evil deity?
What do you mean?
No, I'm asking you because I'm proficient in religion.
Neutral.
Neutral, okay. Would one of the churches in Vasselheim know what happened to this kiss, Argon?
I mean, I guess it's possible, but it's also possible that a random street vendor in a town knows too. I mean, he was a paladin of the Changebringer, but that doesn't necessarily mean he took it back to the church or. I have no knowledge of what happened to him after the battle, just that he was at the battle.
Hey, in Dwarven, I'll say to her, lady, would you be willing to make some kind of a trade? I have some magic that can tell us maybe more about this kiss. I'd be willing to enact
speaking
it.
to the winds?
Yes, in my case, it's speaking to the Allfather, which is the Lord of Creation, the Dwarven Smith,
And
forger of our people.
You could find out where it is.
Well, I can try. I don't know that it gives me that information, but it would potentially tell us more about it, and then maybe we could narrow down who or where it might be. I mean, I'd be willing to try. Takes a little while. It's not quick, and we'd need some incense. But I mean, I'm willing to give a bit to get passage.
Roll persuasion.
My strong suit.
You're better at it than I am.
Guidance myself. There.
Not bad.
14's not
14.
bad. You will speak to your forge maker,
Hmm.
and you will find the information.
Do the best I can.
And you, if they are outside of the rune shock reach, you, within your life, will get this and bring it back to rune shock.
Is that directed at anyone specifically?
Fortrum, within his life, which is an exceptionally long life.
Yeah. If I can find it, I sometimes you're asking for there's a saying, a needle in a haystack, a leaf in the wind. You're asking to find something that might be very, very hard to find. But should I come across it, should I continue searching and come across it, I would gladly bring it back.
I'd want your word. If you find, through your magics, where it is, and it is outside of our reach, within your life, you will get it and bring it back.
With the caveat that if I cannot find it, I'm allowed to live my life.
Of course.
Then, done. Gladly.
She'll stick out her hand over towards you, and you see as she makes this gesture, many of the other rune shock around her, they grip onto their boulders much more tightly, and you can hear crumbling coming off of a few of them. Braska, in that moment, the jackalope at your side seems to be answering for a fight.
No, I get it. Me too, but we gotta wait.
I shake.
As she clasps onto your forearm, there's the sound of a thunderous roar across the chasm.
What was that?
Our deal. The one who caused the storms has accepted our terms.
The Storm Lord. I've heard of him.
Lord,
Lord of Storms.
what does that word mean?
Basically, he's in charge of storms.
Yeah, it's a god or deity, a great power.
They are answerable unto him.
The one who listens within the wind.
Lord means a great power.
Well, kind of a
No,
great.
it's a person with great power.
Yeah.
I'll dig into my pocket and pull out the little statuette we found in the dragon's lair in the city.
She'll clasp her hands and bow before it and then kiss the feet.
Do you want this?
It would be a beautiful mantelpiece at our shrine.
You're welcome to it. We found it along the way, and it doesn't seem like it was the kind of thing to just leave in a random hole in the ground.
She'll graciously accept and then reach through all of her dreads and unclasps a stone necklace and hand it over to you.
Thank you. I'll accept it.
That trinket or statue is exactly the example of what I'm talking about. We found that in a hole in the ground. And just because we did, we are able to give it to you now. So this kiss is very much like that, in that we might have to figure out what hole in the ground it ultimately lives in. And that's why I say that it is as if one leaf on the wind or needle in a haystack.
She who
So-
weaves the path that we all follow may have foreseen your arrival here.
Perhaps.
The
Well-
Changebringer works in mysterious ways.
Where they found that
I don't
idol.
think we need that much information about where we found it.
Do you think she would have woven the kiss into our path before we got here?
That'd have
Well-
been nice.
I was gonna say, that's where we found the map to the knowledge that we seek.
Yep.
And if they live in this mountain range, maybe they have seen some of the markings that this map has.
She's going to tell you where the tower is, from the deal you guys already struck.
She said she worshipped the Storm Lord, and I had that thing in my pocket, so
Alrighty. So,
it was.
Fordrum,
Mm-hmm.
time for you to do your legend lore. So,
Okay.
she will use her hands and give a little push of wind, and you watch as leaves begin to envelop inside of her palm, and one of the leaves falls, and she presses it, and when you look at the press, it has an elegant shape of a emerald-lined necklace with 3 large jewels on it, and this beautiful, intricate markings of woven wires all throughout it. The one that
Anything I've ever seen before. It happens to be in a shop in Uthadern.
Shit, my mom has that.
Fuck, I know where that is.
The one
God,
who I
thanks.
gifted this to was named Alarin. Tabaxi, orange and black spots. Worshipper of the Changebringer. He was a faithful and commanding man because of it. This object would have been worn and carried by him into battle. This is the information I know.
Cool. I need a lot of incense. Do you have any?
Yes.
I need like this much.
We will bring you some incense. Actually,
You have a
you will come
Forge?
with us. Come on.
yeah. Do you have a forge?
A forge.
Where you make your weapons, and I look around at a bunch of dudes holding rocks, and I go,
Other Roxun. They do their own forging.
maybe a fire pit.
I can bring you to the dwarves of our range.
Okay.
They forge. For your
Yeah.
creator of forges.
Great.
Nice that there are other dwarves out here too.
Dwarves everywhere. We just hide underground.
Mm.
So. Never mind then. As she walks with you all across this range, she ends up stopping outside of this large opening into the mountain itself, and 2 of the rune shack go inside. They both walk back out, and they bring with them this large woven basket as they carry it over and place it down in front of you. The basket is roughly the height of you, Fordrum, and a little less wide than you are. It comes up to about the meat of your shoulder.
Yeah.
Will that be enough? This is
Yes.
way more than enough. This
Way
is
more than
a lot of incense.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. So I go, I don't really need all of this. So may I? And I sort of put my hands toward it and I take the appropriate amount. All right. Thank you. This is plenty. Let's go do this.
Yes. Let's do this. So, Forgem, you have the information presented before you, and you conduct your ritual appropriately.
Mm-hmm.
As you conduct this ritual, you begin to see the frightful battle that took place in the Ivy Heart Thicket. This vast and red-colored wood forest has what appears to be numerous different soldiers charging and bolting in as quickly as they can. As quickly as they are coming, you can see these little pockets of defilement in the ground begin growing out these various different forms of undead that look oddly familiar to you based off of your time in Isocross. As you are watching this, you watch as an individual comes running through with a double-sided saber and begins slicing and twirling through. This Tabaxi folk is grabbing onto hooks in the blade and slicing through as many of these combatants as they can, as they are parlaying different attacks, parrying different attacks, and moving at an incredibly fast speed. You can see the familiar-looking amulet across their neck as they are battling, and they seem to be commanding out against a few different troops as well. Now, as you are watching this individual cut and mow down hordes of undead, you hear a voice enter into his head. There's many more enemies over on the eastern side. We need you to draw more attention over to the north. Can you do this? I think I can handle that. As they take onto their blade and swing it around very quickly, and you watch as they grab their holy symbol, that amulet around their neck, and you see this large magical aura begin erupting from their body. As their blade attaches into one of the walls, they snap their fingers and teleport over towards the blade, immediately jumping at this monstrously large, undead-looking ogre and shattering through it. You see as the undead are jumping and diving on top of this paladin, that they are disintegrating as soon as they begin to touch the aura that encompasses them. And you see these tiny little roads and roots all around them emanating out in a familiar-like aura that you utilize sometimes as well. As the individual continues to fight and battle, you hear a very loud, terrifying growl, and he looks over towards the north side. As he begins charging in that direction, you see the back of an individual that is so legendary even you have heard of them from over across the pond. This large, mountainous man, who very clearly is dead, turns and looks with these white-out, feral, angry, rampaging eyes and a hulking beard across. Grog Strongjaw. But undead and being controlled by this Vordvik entity. He goes diving over towards them, and as he slides across the ground trying to shove his weapon up towards the back, you watch as from above Pike is bringing down a massive mace right towards the head. Unfortunately, in that movement, you watch as he leans to the side, and you can see up in Pike's eyes this pain for having to attack him. And in that moment of hesitation, he steps out of the way, and she brings the mace down flat where this Tabaxi individual is. And with the powerful, grandiose smite, you watch as he lies there on the battlefield, and everything begins fading to black.
So this person was killed by Pike
On accident.
by accident, or Pike was forced into killing him. Can I try? I'm going to try and stay focused a little longer to see if, just to focus on the amulet. I described the entire battle as I've seen it.
As you focus, you see that the forest around it begins burning and collapsing down, burying it into the ground and dirt somewhere along the north edges of what is now the Ivy Heart Deadwood.
Okay. I'm gonna do, just to try it, I'll even ask for divine intervention. What happened to the amulet? I gotta roll under 10.
No, that's not my system. You want to roll higher is better.
Oh,
Your god will always help you if they can, just depends how much they can.
got it.
So,
I did-
27.
That's not high enough for me, probably.
It's not very high at all.
Nope.
You sense that
I do
the
better when
answer
it's
was
low.
presented to you.
Yeah.
The answer was already presented to you.
Well,
Probably in the Ivywood thicket then.
yep.
That or maybe Pike has it.
What were you saying, Fordrum?
Well, from what I gather, from what I've been told, from what we see, it seems that the Ivy Heart Deadwood now might be its resting place. And that's just, I mean, if our map was correct, I think that's just over that way. And I point north, sort of northeast. A ways. A few weeks from here by foot.
It is outside of our range.
Yes.
Then you will go there and gather it for us within your lifespan.
Should I come across that area or need to or have a ability to, yes. I can't list it as the most important thing for us right now. My family needs saving, but in my lifetime, yes.
So long as you have it done within your lifetime, our pact is agreed.
Well, as a turn, I hope that I am kept alive long enough to do so then. Because
That's this area, right?
just north of there, yeah.
Ivy Heart Deadwood. It's written on the thing. If you zoom in a little bit, you'll read it.
Okay.
Yeah. It's labeled. It's on the map now.
The
Permanent
good news,
location.
the good news is, Forger, we do have a link to that.
Yeah.
So, as you give her this information, she looks across at everybody. Then we begin traveling. We will be there before daylight. And you all are marching with the rune shack. Braska. One of them is all the way in the back, behind you. The rest are in the front, directly in front of their leader. The individual in the back seems to be looking at your hammer very curiously.
I don't currently have a hammer?
Oh, you got rid of it? I thought you kept it.
I don't think I ever had a hammer. I had a
No,
glaive.
you-
I'm looking
hammer.
at your token. It's
Oh,
yeah, you don't have a hammer? Okay.
no.
Then they look at your glaive curiously.
I did get rid of the glaive.
Never mind.
He's got Rabook's head.
No bonding moments for you. then yes, they're looking at your blade. Curiously.
All right. You like?
What is it for?
Well, I can do a lot of things. Mostly stabbing and cutting.
Stabbing.
Okay, so imagine there's a guy in front of me and I thrust my sword forward. Now that's in him. That's called a stab.
But small.
Yeah, okay. Just poke the tip there. Just put your finger on it. Just
Ding! And it starts bleeding.
yeah, just right.
Still small. He holds up boulder.
Eh.
Crush.
Yeah, but like give me enough time, I could cut that thing in half.
Give me little time. Crush skull.
I'd bet. I bet one of us will get further than the other first.
Very weird. Can
Eh.
you throw it?
I mean, yeah, same as you with yours.
You can throw?
Yeah.
Let's
I mean,
throw. He tosses it in the air and looks over the canyon.
Oh, no. I like to keep mine.
So, you can't throw.
Well, I mean, I can throw just as long as I can get it back.
Get it back.
We're kind of doing a thing here, man.
Can you throw like this? He leans backwards and tosses it out. That goes about 120 feet or so.
Is there another rock on the ground that I could throw?
There is, yeah.
I'll do that.
Alrighty. Give me a strength roll.
I'd like to briefly rage for this.
This guy's trying to power move me. No.
Oh, that's terrible.
It goes about 30 feet. Now keep in mind, these are people who have hands that are 3 times the size of yours, and the boulder they are palming, but just barely. You throw it a good 30 feet. That's pretty good.
I'm disappointed with it.
You don't have longer arm ox when you throw, and move twist snap body goes further. Here, he grabs into the mountain and starts like grabbing and pulls out another rock and hands it to you.
All right.
So take everything he had into consideration. Go ahead and roll again. 22. You get about 45 feet this time? Almost 50? Before it loses its momentum. I mean, gravity would still kill whoever the fuck it's hitting, but
Yeah.
much better. See? Rock
Yeah.
better than stone.
Yeah, I can see that.
You strong.
Yeah.
Good.
Sorry, Radar.
You're fine. Many civilized are Singon people. They're not strong. Weak.
I will say very few people have ever called me civilized.
You are clothes, metal.
I mean, I'm barely wearing a shirt, let's be honest here.
You swim in water sometime.
Usually when I have to.
It's more like water hit him.
It's more that I count the rain.
Yeah, we not like those people. Those people are weak.
Yeah. But they have their other stuff that they do. Like, they make some good fucking food.
Good food.
Yeah.
You mean like the shiver folk?
Like, not exactly the same.
Shiver folk have good food.
Oh, yeah. You tried their bison?
Bison jerky.
Yeah.
They make bison burger with ciabatta bread.
I need to go back to that village.
When you are not slaying war, come back, we throw together.
That sounds really nice, man.
And it'll slap you on the back. And Braska, aside from your dad, this is the only person who's like physically moved you by slapping you.
Huh.
These Rune Shack folk aren't bitches.
Well,
You met Debbie?
Gundan Driones. Argon, perception check. I'm curious if you heard this. Actually, wait, you speak giant, don't you?
I do.
Oh, the devil's rabbit. Argon, perception check.
I'm good. I have something to feed him.
Sorry,
14.
not the devil's rabbit, the demon's rabbit.
Oh, I was gonna try to feed him the devil's lettuce.
14, Argon, you heard that. The demon's rabbit?
Oh God.
They are rare creatures, devourers of weak people. He leans in. Don't give to cat, person.
Yeah, I got that impression too. Don't worry.
So, as you were traveling, around dawn's break, when everybody's feeling a little fatigued and tired from traveling all through the night and most of the part of the day, you look down at this large section and canyon here within the Stormcrest Mountains, and you can see the ruins that were promised to be delivered to all of you. You see two massive towers that have crumbled and fallen down to the ground. In the center at the exterior of this, you see all manner of debris from wood, snow, boulders, and stone circling around at incredibly fast speeds, protecting the interior of this ruined location. This is Retis.
Are there caves near Rectus?
No. Nothing develops here. No animals come here. No one survives here. Runeshak pass by. Always keep moving. It is cursed location.
The jackrabbit still with Braska?
Yeah. And it hasn't blinked a single time.
Well, that thing's an animal.
Probably not.
Just gave Braska a Ted moment. I wish you were real. So.
It was more of a Lilo and Stitch moment.
Oh, yeah.
Send me an angel.
So the ruins are surrounded by a wall of moving debris.
A wall of wind that is moving debris inside of it, yes. This is where we part ways. She looks over at you, Fordrum. Do not forget your promise.
I never will.
We will be here. We will expect you or your kin.
Okay.
So, They all begin walking away, and Braska, the one who talked to you, just does the same, like, throwing gesture of, like, how you have to snap and push with it.
I mimic it back at him.
So?
But with a snowball.
So, everybody, you're looking down at Redis Tower.
Morgan, how strong do you think that wind is?
It's moving boulders.
So like a 6 out of 10.
Like, how many pounds of force do you think that would take?
Probably about the
Nature check.
same. A what? History check? Is that what you said?
Nature check.
Oh, nature check. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Only because I'm naturally intelligent. I don't have any training in it.
You would probably need close to like 500 pounds, maybe more.
Depends on the exact material we're talking about here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Why?
so the method I have an idea about using might work. We've got these 20,000-pound capacity spears that we can use if we need to sure our footing. And then, as we move forward through it, the person on the end stops the magic, passes it forward, reactivates at the front.
Well, it's not just a matter of passing through the wind, it's dodging the debris that's being moved around as well. I'm 99% certain I know the answer to this question, but I'm going to sit down and I'm going to ritually cast Detect Magic just to make sure that what this effect is magical.
Alrighty. Whew. As you detect it, it is very powerful magic in place here, probably relative to 9th level. It is conjuration, evocation, and that's it.
Conjuration and evocation.
Yep. Conjure the storm, protection from the storm.
Oh. Yeah. I thought that would be abjuration. As protection.
Oh yeah, it would be that one. Sorry. Not evocation. Evocation's more like boom boom.
Yeah, it's like, maybe that's what's making their eyes go boom. I got nothing that, the only solution I have is for mobility. If you can figure out a way to stop it from cycloning here, that would definitely be a boon. Or a way for us to deflect the barrage that we're going to take for using these as mobility devices.
Yeah, I mean, I can either get us past the wind or I can get us safe from the debris. But the problem is being safe from the debris would make us very susceptible to the wind.
Well,
Though I bet it would be a hell of a ride. Braska would probably really enjoy it.
Well, wouldn't the debris go down if the wind wasn't moving around.
Well, I can't like stop the wind everywhere. That would be way too much power. But I could probably kill it in an area. But the problem is the area is not big enough that any debris that comes into it and loses its magic would still carry on with enough force to hit somebody and seriously injure them, even without the wind pushing them at the same time.
I'll also let you know, Argon, the cusp of your spell could sense the magic 30 feet away from it, but even that close, there was almost like a suction effect from the wall where if you were a little bit closer, it was going to suck you into it.
Yeah.
And,
I mean, I could throw Broska at a hamster ball and kick him in there. It'd probably be a hell of a ride.
I could also maybe make a tunnel.
Diggy diggy hole.
So 30 feet of it was the edge of where it really started to suck us down, right?
yes.
How thick... Can I tell how thick the actual effect is?
Perception check.
No.
I'm going to use up inspiration.
Might as well. We're getting to that time anyways.
13.
30 feet before you can see the physical conjuration of the wind, and 30 feet after where you see debris.
Okay. So we'd have to be able to cross at least 60 feet.
Yes.
I'm gonna. You want to get a full range of how thick the storm is, Argon?
That's what I just found out. 60 feet is what we have to cross.
You're certain it's 60 feet.
That was literally the conversation me and Joey just had.
Yep. He asked, he rolled, I told.
Okay. Oh, I didn't know it was more like a estimated.
Ah! You know what? I wonder what might work. Oh, let's see. I'm trying to see how much distance this is. 10 by 10 foot, so 100 feet. All right, so I'll get close to the edge. Not all the way.
6 feet from the edge.
Yeah, well, roughly.
And you're thinking, sorry.
I am thinking wall of force in a 100-foot long stretch.
Why use a 9th level counter spell when you have a 5th level wall?
I mean, obviously, I'm not expecting it to actually stop the maelstrom, but I'm wondering if we like slide up against it and, you know, backs to the wall,
So
walk
are you
our
like,
way through it.
so this is the outer perimeter. Are you like setting it up to cut through the outer
Yes,
perimeter?
cut through
Okay.
the outer perimeter so that we could like hug the wall for protection, kind of like you would hide from the wind behind a wall or something, and then just
Right, we only
sneak
need it to
through.
stop the debris. Right.
Right. Well, should stop the wind from pushing you too. I mean, the wind will blow over it,
Right.
and to some extent, you know,
We're on
too
the
far away
inside.
from the wall,
we
and
can
it's
use
gonna
the
come down and push you. But
we
we
can
could
use-
use the rods to help if we had to. But
Yeah. We tie off to each other and use the rods as added, footing.
I think that'll at least stop anything from bashing into us. I mean, there's probably some risk that the wind will come over and catch you, and
That's why the rope and the rods would come in
Yeah.
handy.
you crawl. You stay close to the ground. You get more gap that way.
All right, so you guys want to use your wall and rods
And rope.
and rope? All right, who's
I-
taking the lead? Who's going first?
You know.
Is it the lightest one in the party but most nimble?
Yeah.
Or is it one of the big people?
I'm gonna make sure that
Boardroom will
the ground
offer to
doesn't
go
give in
first.
front of us.
I'm totally down.
I think you would be best in the mid, just in case one of the ends started to fly off.
Why don't I go first? Because I am heavy and I'm armored and I'm good with my shield.
All right, so let's tie us all up with. We'll tie each other with rope. I understand. I'm going to have to cast the spell a second time, Joey.
Yeah.
Because we're going to be outside of the time, and that's fine. I will take the slot away. So let's prep for this. So in case somebody does slip up and gets pulled out, they're attached to the rest of us,
Yeah.
and we can pull them back in. And I think if you want to lead, Forger, Braska could be the anchor.
Yep.
In case it all goes bad. Because if
Right.
anybody's likely to pull us all back in, it's Braska.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking, I can see quite a good distance, so I should be
Yeah,
near
but-
the.
Cynthia,
front.
your job's to protect Argon, so
You
you
can
gotta
go
stay-
second, Cynthia. Forger's short to the ground, so he's less likely to get clipped.
Yep. I'm literally built for this. Like I weigh a half a ton.
Yeah, no, I tried
Yeah.
pulling you up on a rope.
Yeah. See, he's heavy.
And that's good in this situation.
Yeah.
It is.
All right, Fordrum,
Yup.
as you begin army crawling.
I slip on my hands, my gloves, by the way,
Ooh.
my Enduro Sphinx gloves.
Those gloves have been so useful.
They're the most useful item of non-magical nothing in any game I've ever played, ever. And I put them on and I go, oh, they can hold onto a wall of force. Maybe.
Unfortunately, it does stipulate it has to be a physical object that it grabs
Okay.
onto. So
Well,
not
there's
that
ground.
wall. You grab onto the ground. All of you hear the Velcro scraping of Fordrum across the landscape. As you get a little bit closer to the wall, Fordrum, you do feel the wind is going over the wall and pushing, and some of the debris is colliding with the wall and spinning over and starting to move with it as well.
Yeah.
As you are going, it is significantly easier to get across. However, I still need you to give me a strength saving throw at advantage thanks to the wall and the gloves. 23. You are crawling across the landscape with the gloves, and you do feel there's a couple of pushes of wind. It seems to be a cycle of wind from this large cyclone that ends up actually almost picking you up a little bit, but you grab on in anticipation for it, and as it passes by, you just keep going much more quickly all the way across. Once you get about 30 feet past the wall on the other side, and you no longer feel that wind pulling and tugging at you, thumbs up, everybody. You made it all the way through.
And then I'm going to do the best I can to try and anchor the rope. Just make sure you stay holding on to the rope. My shield kind of lifted me a couple of times, but it's okay. I was fine.
All right, so who's second?
Me.
Alrighty. Same thing for you. Strength saving throw at advantage. 21.
Oh, thank God.
You notice that same pattern of one section of the wind moving much more aggressively, and you climb and you climb and you climb, and you're not a particularly strong person, so when you see that section of the wind moving by, you full body, all fours grab onto the rope, and as soon as it passes by, Feline's agility, no, all the way across. Who's third?
That would be
More
me.
It's more like Zephyr Strike because I don't have feline.
Well, you understand what I meant.
Yeah.
Argon.
I'm going to chronal shift that.
Okay.
Good call.
Oh.
Oh my god, I will burn my spell. This is
Which
the last
one?
time I can roll something. Oh my god.
I'm just gonna grab Argon by the leg.
He's like 15, 20 feet above you.
I'm gonna grab the rope and try to pull him back in.
All right, Argon. You saw how they all did it, and you wait in anticipation. Unfortunately, though, the section of the wall that you thought was the section they were avoiding, you're not really good at noticing things,
I'm not.
was not the right section. So where you gripped on and breathed to relax and moved one more arm, it picks you up. I need a sleight of hand check to grab onto that rope before you are flying.
Oh, I'll burn my other inspiration, the lore keeper one. Jesus.
Wow. You go flying off, spinning around at this blinding speed, going one full rotation through before firing back just past Braska, and you are going head first, flying very quickly, arriving close to a wall, Argon.
I'll feather fall or bubble or whatever. I'll bubble.
Feather fall? Well, it's a reaction base because this happens
then
at the
it's gotta
same
be
turn.
feather fall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, you feather fall and face plant instead of just smashing.
Well, that
Here
didn't
comes
work
all
for
the
me.
rocks. Because you're on the other side of the wall.
Yeah,
oh
you
no,
did
he
that
made it
wrong.
full 360, same side. So, Argon, your timing was a little off.
Yeah, I noticed.
Also,
it wasn't that part of the wall.
what spell did you cast again?
Featherfall was what
No,
I ended up.
previously.
Oh, the original one, Wall of Force.
No, after that. Your one reroll that was a spell.
Oh, that's the. I'll cast it. It's this one that I cast ahead of time as a buff. on
Fortune's
myself,
favor.
'cause-
Yeah.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
because I don't have to eat the component for it because of the headpiece.
So, when that happened, those of you inside of the wall, you hear a very loud dong, dong, dong coming from one of the towers. Outside the wall, you heard nothing.
Did you hear that, Cynthia?
Looking to see which tower it was.
Perception check.
Uh,
Unfortunately, you didn't notice. That is so hard for you to fail that.
Yeah,
So,
it happens.
Argon, are you ready to try again?
Yeah,
Alrighty. Go ahead. Strength save advantage.
This time, wrap it around your body.
this time I'll put the gloves on and I'll hold on to the rope with the gloves.
As you do get hit by the wind, you are grabbing and holding the rope sturdy as it passes by, and you have to keep going all the way across. You just barely succeeded, Argon.
When I get close to the edge, when I get like within 30 feet of Fordrum, I'm misty stepping.
Blink.
Do we hear the sound again?
No.
Okay.
Braska, your turn. Please roll a
All right.
strength save at advantage. 26. Grab the rope, walk across. You're good. The wind hit you or you hit the wind. Either way, you're on the other side. And now that the four of you are over here, and we're just going to say that the other two got there as well, or if they show up next session, they're going to have to do their rolls. Anyways, now that you're all over here, you are finally at your destination of the Reddest Tower. It is time for you to investigate and see if you can't find your way over to this lich to find the information you all seek. We're going to call the session here, everybody. Players, thank you all very much for playing. Viewers, thank you for watching. Hope you had a great time. See you next time. Bye.